Hello, everyone. This is Tenebricite, and today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. I'm actually going to be reacting to my friend Zinnias's live tournament coverage of our SM Cup game, which is an SMOU tournament, which is just an SMOU best of three single elimination bracket. And Zinnias and I got paired up round one. So I'm going to be reacting to her video. So this is going to be unscripted. I've only seen a few minutes of her video, so let's get into it.
Yo, what is up? Welcome back to the Zinnias YouTube channel. Today I am playing the Sun and Moon Cup versus my greatest rival, Tenebricite. He's been on the channel before, and we are matched up for Sun and Moon Cup.
Have been on Zinnias' channel before, didn't think I was her greatest rival.
So I am taking this great opportunity to both ruin his video and make my own video a lot better
Sure.
by winning.
Okay, so a little bit about the team selection. The team Zinnias is using, I know she likes using that team and teams like that. So I picked my team kind of knowing that. For example, Alakazam is pretty good. It gets powered up by both of our Lele's Psychic Terrain and can Focus Blast the Greninja, which is not Scarf. Keldeo can do some damage. Lele can be threatening. Not a serious counter team, but I at least wanted something with a decent matchup into what Zinnias likes to bring.
Yeah, that's what I feel like I'm gonna do. Anyway, I think I really do want to get Rocks up in this matchup. And
Rocks are pretty good into my team because Scarf Lando is my only defogger. I don't think defog Zapdos is good at all.
I think my Greninja's really good. I kind of want to... this also like trades into stuff really well. I think he might lead Zapdos.
So I didn't lead Zapdos because Lele and Greninja can do a ton of damage to it. I led Lando because I could U-turn out on pretty much any of the offensive threats, and if she led Lando, I could U-turn into either Zapdos or Keldeo fairly easily, although it would be a little less advantageous for me. And also on turn one, I know this is an AV Lele that doesn't have max speed, but typically Landos are slower, so depending on her speed, because of the fact that my Intimidate went first, she could have pretty much immediately found out that I was Scarf.
Leads Lando with just Psyshock. You're not on Zinnias.
Lele leads are always pretty scary because you never know if it's going to be choice specs or choice Scarf or just blast your steel type coming in with a focus blast.
Bro, shut up.
Yeah, and if you're wondering, throughout the video, some of our friends are going to be in the chat saying some funny stuff.
But yeah, we're gonna Psyshock, just get some nice chip damage. I think he either U-turns... Yeah, so that shows he's either like an offensive U-turn or Scarf.
Offensive U-turn isn't particularly common. There's SDZ and also Scarf U-turn. I haven't seen that many offensive U-turn Landos. And after I take this damage, I can tell that she's not Specs.
Yeah, we just get some nice chip with Psyshock. I think we just go into our guy here.
I'm just going to get up Stealth Rocks here. Stealth Rocks are always a good thing to get up early.
I'm gonna get a spike.
Yeah, this turn's a pretty important
Maybe
one.
Chip is better. Doesn't have a great switch into Hydro Pump.
Yep. This Life Orb Greninja or Expert Belt Greninja rather, under Psychic Terrain with Extra Sensory is super dangerous.
That kind of makes me want an Extra Sensory on like a potential Scarf Keldeo. I guess I'll make that decision based on whether it has a... If I'm just Mono Water, then I guess I live a hit from Keldeo anyway as well, so... We do a lot of damage to Heatran.
Yeah, so this was a pretty big sacrifice from me, and I'm not sure it was the right play, because due to the nature of this Greninja and this team, I'm not going to have that many opportunities to stall out the Greninja and have it KO to Toxic, even though the reason I Toxic'd it was so it would have limited entries, and also because it's his only Psychic immunity.
I think we just Hydro again.
Pretty okay to just go into Zam. And I'm pretty confident this Greninja does not have Dark Pulse. Typically doesn't run it on this team.
But I mean, it's kind of cooked anyway now. So I think he might just sack to prevent a safe spike. That's what I'd do.
In these offense MUs, having sacks is pretty important, so you'll see I end up switching Zam here to conserve the Heatran.
I think he must have predicted me to either be a Greninja variant that can't hit Heatran, like a Scarf one, or like I wouldn't have like the guts to click the move straight away.
I mean, I knew there was a good chance Hydro Pump was coming, but I also knew this Greninja was a pretty huge threat, so Toxicing it did have its benefits. Also, if she didn't end up going for a spike or something, it would have been a pretty beneficial turn to have Toxic there.
Like if I was Dig, I probably wouldn't just like Dig straight away, because like, what if he switches and then I just can't hit Heatran anymore?
Dig Greninja is also pretty uncommon.
I'm just gonna Hydro again because I feel like it just gets me good damage on anything.
Hydro's the play, and Scarf Keldeo is pretty garbage, and
Alakazam comes
run
in,
it, so.
And I think he's just gonna click Psychic. I do want to preserve Magina
Psychic
health.
just does tons of damage to the team.
Do I need Mawile? Probably the Pokemon I need least, right?
Yeah, Mawile doesn't have an amazing matchup here, but to see it take so much from Psychic was pretty nice.
Alright, I think I'm just gonna knock and take out the Heatran.
So I didn't want to give my Heatran up here. I decided, since the Mawile is Intimidate, and my Zapdos has Rocky Helmet, I can KO it that way.
You get some good chip on Zapdos, actually, which is cool.
But it is pretty good chip, yes, and you'll see that come into play later in this game.
Yeah, we don't sack Lando because he has his own Scarf Lando. Honestly, let's go into this guy and click Moonblast.
And now it's time to sack Heatran, because I don't have a great Lele switch. I could have maybe gone into my own Lele here, but that wasn't even a
I think for the
100%
most
chance I
part,
KO with
Zapdos
Moon
is
Blast, I
run
don't think.
more defense investment than this. So the disparity between the two moves is likely going to be more. Like I'd probably see like this. It's a big deal. Yeah, we just want to Moonblast. I mean, if he does go Heatran, then we just follow up with a Psyshock.
Yeah, Heatran's just gonna go down here.
We do
I'm
reveal
not
we're not
switching out.
choiced, but like, who cares?
Yeah, I was fairly confident it wasn't choiced at
The
that
ideal
point.
scenario is that, okay, he does go to Lando. We're just gonna go.
I'm gonna U-turn here because at this point I could come in with my Lele and KO
Wait.
Zinnias' Lele if she stays in.
Yeah, we do want this thing to take Helmet Chip.
So now I can once again go into Zam and get another KO with Psychic, because I know that Lando's defensive Rocky Helmet.
I think he is kind of close to just like getting bowled over by Magearna.
Yeah, Trick Room Magearna is a personal favorite of mine. It's really hard to expect that set, especially when teams like Zinnias's, you could easily see benefiting off pivoting Magearna, like an AV, for example.
Okay, Zam comes in. Yeah, I mean, it's nice to get Spike, but like, Spike for what?
Yeah, good Greninja switch there. I
And
was pretty
this
much
way we
always going to
force
click
it to hit a
Psychic.
move. I'm gonna click Extra Sensory.
Luckily, I hit a Focus Blast.
Um, 62.6. I mean, not gonna lie.
Yeah, Trick Room Magearna looking like a serious threat
All
after
depends
Heatran
on
goes
Zapdos. I
down.
mean, okay, if we kill the right Pokemon, then it won't matter.
So at this
And
point,
if
I'm
he
still
actually wants to
thinking it
threaten
might be
Magearna,
AV.
then he needs to hit a Focus Blast.
Yep.
I think I'm playing with the odds here.
Mm-hmm.
On my side. The only way he can hit Magearna in a non-squishy way is with Lando.
Yeah, I'm about to discover the
He never
true
sacks
threat
that,
that this
but
Magearna
as long as I
poses.
keep my own Lando, it isn't like a huge threat. And all I need to kill is Zapdos for my cart to become the threat. He goes for that. I don't think he goes hard Lando. If he does, that's a really risky one.
Mm-hmm.
I'd probably sack something here, like a Lele, maybe.
Yeah, Z-move is the play. It always gets
Oh,
me
we
a
get the
KO.
Lando! Okay,
I mean, at that point,
that's good.
Cart was probably Scarf. Lando
Now we can
wasn't doing
probably
too
set up a
much.
situation where we can, yeah, where we can, set Trick Room up again.
So I knew Floor was coming out there. I needed to go Keldeo to get the special attack drop, so I could trade Lele for Magearna instead of losing multiple
Hmm.
Mons. So yeah, it's just going to be a Psychic from me. But Scarf Kartana in the back is looking extremely dangerous. Although,
If it
from
is
my
Specs Fire,
perspective,
that's bad.
Zapdos is also looking good.
How much does Zapdos do to this? That's not really very reliable. It is setting up. Okay, 43. Okay, okay, 43% chance to KO. I'm just thinking whether it's more reliable to maybe go Lando here and get the kill that way. But that requires a hard call out of Hidden Power Fire.
Yeah, and a lot of Lele don't run that. So throwing Lando here would be extremely risky.
Okay, I mean, I really do need to, actually, it's
Now that
psychic anyway.
now that this
Cool.
Magearna is weakened, I can go into my own Zapdos and conserve my Tapu Lele.
Oh, wait. No, this is fine. Beast Boost Alakazam doesn't win on the spot.
So at this point, I feel like I have a pretty decent position with my Zapdos.
Wait, what? You can't roost. Um,
And now this is the most significant part of the game. In my mind, I'm just going to click HP Ice and be in a good position with this Lando KO'd. Because Landos that run anything to hit Zapdos in a significant way are pretty uncommon. Well, at least the Rocky Helmet ones. Usually it's just Stealth Rock EQ, U-turn, Hidden Power Ice. And a lot of them are slower than Zapdos too. So I didn't expect the fast
nice.
explosion. And now Kartana basically wins.
Okay, we need to avoid a static.
Yeah, my timer's really low. I probably should have just gone Lele here. But I wasn't completely sure.
Okay, we don't need to avoid a static anymore, we just win.
Yeah, I wasn't completely sure with the low timer if this Lele was super bulky and would live through Alakazam, so I was just trying to bank on non-Scarf. But of course it is Choice Scarf, so I'm just going to lose the game.
GG. I think the boom on Lando was quite unexpected because I'm a helmet set. So that probably contributed in the end.
Absolutely. That's exactly what happened.
Yeah, just make sure that's uploaded. Yeah, so I will cut to the next one. Okay, we are here with game 2. I don't think my matchup call worked. I said to myself that he's going to revert back to like Rotom Medi stuff. So I kind of just loaded some Crest Toad.
I'm not a huge fan of those Rotom Medi teams in SM. I knew that Zinnias did like her stallier teams, especially in Game 2 scenarios. So that's why I'm bringing a team with Z, Curem, and Choice Band Weavile.
But he kind of went the very opposite way. Um, it's not good. Um, yeah, this is bad. What do I lead here? I can check Curum. I think I lead Toad. I really want early rocks. I think that's kind of like...
Yeah, so the plays that I usually like to make with this team are leading Scarfini and clicking Trick, because then you have Defog Fini and Defog Lando available.
What does this thing even run on the sample?
Yep, I'm not sure this is a sample team. Last I checked, it wasn't. It is a pretty popular team, but I'm not sure
I
it's a
genuinely
sample.
have no clue how this team works. I think it's the worst team ever. Okay, it seems like I can just he tricked me a scarf.
That's the danger of um, using existing pastes, especially of popular builds, to make decisions, because people edit the sets all the time. That's why I don't have such a huge problem with using known structures.
That is so annoying.
Yep.
I mean, at least it can't happen to my pecs now. Um, let's go to cart.
This time I'm not Scarflando, I'm defensive Iapapa.
Okay, we can just knock.
Yeah, and at this point I'm just clicking U-turn to try and find out what this Kartana is, but I already suspected C.
We get an Iapapa. So this is like an edit. This is the crazy edit. I wonder what everything is. My goddamn.
Yep, time to click beat up.
Okay, it's still beat up.
Just gonna get chip on the team.
I hope he doesn't know that I have fucking nothing for this McGinner.
I'm tempted to go into Lando here, but you
If
never
he
know when
actually
these
goes Lando here, I'm just going to vote again.
You never know when these Magirnas can
That's
click
how
Ice
down
Beam.
bad I am here. Why is this still open? Yeah, I'm just gonna vote, and if he goes Lando, I vote again. Okay, Heatran comes in. We can get some fucking boulders.
And
I
I'm
don't
going
actually
to
care if
defog them
he
away.
uses Magma Storm and like takes me out. We need to get some fucking boulders up, stat.
I knew it was probably going to be Rocks or EQ.
I think we just go to Kartana here. Defogs? Hell no, bro. We just Blade. Do we? I wanna go Pex. I feel like you hard sizzle. Ah, but this is leftovers now. Okay, what am I even playing for? Finny is not nice to see.
That's why I love Trick Fini. It can be so annoying.
And Cress cannot do it. Okay, we get some regen.
And
He
now I
can't
can
go
go.
Cure him unless he's Electrium Z.
I can go into my Toxapex, and I meant
Okay, he goes
Heatran,
Heatran.
and either get Magma Storm or Rocks up.
No, he's defog Lando as well. That's annoying. Okay, let's go to Latios. How much damage did we do to Weavile? Not enough.
Yeah, so my switch is just Scizor here.
Wait.
Now here I was literally thinking, Surf HP Fire seems like such a ridiculously specific set, because Mega Latios has a lot of good coverage options. It loves its coverage. And Surf and HP Fire aren't the most high damaging coverage options. So I figured he could have Psychic, he could have Draco, he could have Earthquake, he could even be running something like Thunderbolt, or even like she could even be like Calm Mind. So I'm like, if she's HP Fire, then I guess I'll just lose my Scizor. Also, by the way, I'm just used to saying he to refer to my opponent. Zinnias is she. So if I accidentally say he, that is my bad. Zinnias is she.
Wait.
Yeah, going through it in my mind right now.
Wait. Okay, we take out Sizzle. That's his
Yep,
best cut answer. And I
yep.
know it's a utility cut, but
The Pursuit Mind game.
really?
But knockoff is just free here.
That goes okay, the last time I did this was versus a belt and I got it wrong. I want to stay. Really? Why? That was the wrong play. That was
Nope,
the wrong play.
it wasn't. I always got value by clicking knockoff.
Okay, we threaten to not have our scarf anymore, I guess.
I figure she's just going to want to get up Stealth Rocks.
I think the scenario we want to be in is where Cut can force a knock on Heatran because Kyurem doesn't want to switch in,
Yeah,
and
Kartana is
yeah,
pretty threatening.
and that we need rocks for. Okay, so now we're like, we got a penny
Heatran is
split.
always a pretty decent play. Magma Storm is now very threatening.
That's good damage. What?
Yeah, Pain Split is really annoying.
Do we think he's Magma Storm on this?
It's another stall breaker on the team. It's a Magma
Okay,
Storm
if he
Earth
is, I
Power
kind of
Taunt.
lose anyway. He is Magma Storm on this. That sucks. Is he Magma Taunt?
I figured she was going to expect Magma Taunt and go for a Scald here, so I got a bit greedy and clicked Earth Power.
Yeah, we did not want to lose Latios. I can't believe that he actually knocked. That doesn't seem right to me. Yeah, he is Magma Taunt. I don't know why. Ah, and that would have allowed me to get T-Spikes up as well. Okay, I don't understand this one.
T-Spikes would have been quite rough. I would have had to take another turn to defog them with Feeny, and then Feeny would have gotten poisoned. And now Heatran is looking extremely threatening.
Yeah, I guess we just do this.
At this point, I'm still thinking she could be Scarf Cartana. I know it's
Oh
probably
wait,
B,
maybe we have to.
but she hasn't switched
No, I
moves yet.
cannot be asked to bluff.
Yeah, she hadn't switched moves up until
He's just
that
gonna go
point,
right back into it.
so that kind of confirmed my suspicions. Something this Cartana set also indicates, especially on a team like this, is that it's not Sacred Sword. So Kyurem Black and Heatran are much safer versus it.
Maybe we win the lottery and he goes fucking Weavile.
And nope, that's not happening. Especially because I know you probably have HP EVs.
Pick was a mistake. I expected something much different than this.
Yeah, while the timer's going down here, I'm just calcing Sacred Sword rolls and stuff.
He goes Kyurem Black. I don't think that's exactly precise.
I'm pretty sure she won't
We
stay in
just go into
here.
this guy because he genuinely cannot do anything.
I figured maybe she goes Mage on the Ice Beam, because then she can take a Z move after that without having to sack. So I end up trying
Maybe
to
there's an
predict.
angle where Weavile can't pressure Cresselia.
I predict Magearna go for the Fusion Bolt. It doesn't really work out, but I'm just going to go for an Ice Beam here. And this is a pretty significant moment in the battle because I'm not completely sure if he has, or if she has Thunder Wave or not, because these crests can be pretty versatile. Sometimes they can also be Scarf.
If he's Hone, then we can just forget it, but...
So I could fish for an Ice Beam freeze, I could chip it a little, I could go into
Maybe he
Feeny.
makes a mistake and rips Z immediately? No, why would he do that?
Yeah, that's not the play.
I think he's... Okay, well, if he's faster, then I kind of need to do this anyway. If he goes to Weavile, I just Moonlight again, I think. And the answer to how I beat a whole Taunt Heatran with Cresselia is to knock it and spam Side Shock, I guess.
Exactly. Kartana is still a pretty big threat with knockoff at this point in the game.
The things we want to see right now that could bring it back potentially is him wasting his Z move right now.
Mm-hmm. But I need to save that for a time when I can actually get a guaranteed KO on
But I
Cresselia or
will
Magearna.
probably need to lure him into using his Z move, and then he can just start using Freeze Shot, which is the worst part.
Yeah, a lot of people forget that
He
about
needs to be
Kyurem
a very
Black.
specific set for me to have a chance here.
If the Moonlight didn't come out there, she would have been much closer to being in range of the Z Freeze Shock. So now I'm just fishing for freezes so I can go into Weavile
Okay, we just
safely.
Moonlight here.
Because
You have to make sure we aren't being followed.
while Cresselia can't do much to Weavile,
And
it is being chipped by hazards, so I don't even want to take an Ice Beam on it.
honestly, that's probably a bad move. He can miss.
Yeah.
I really want him to miss. Okay, he missed.
Earth Power, that was a pretty unfortunate miss. I probably would have just immediately won if I hit that.
I don't think he wants to give up his leftovers yet.
If I make this trade, I
And
can
is that
still
his
get
only
a hit off with
guarantee?
Heatran, though.
Maybe I'm faster. What does +1 do? Should probably just get actual damage on.
At this point, the Magearna's getting chipped, and my
If I
Heatran is pretty
somehow
low.
make this unable to switch into Magearna, then I can see myself getting a little bit of progress. So Weavile comes in. I think I Moonlight.
I can just click
I
Knock
didn't do
Off
it before. I wasn't
because
scared. If he pursuits, then that's awesome. 81! What the fuck? Why?
even if Magearna comes in,
Why
Magearna
did it
is
do
not going to
81?
be recovering enough from
Ugh,
Pain
bro,
Split.
what a fucking joke.
Yeah, CB Weavile is not easy to
I
switch into.
genuinely just can't heal more.
Yep. And at this point, Freeze Shock is going to get a kill.
What is the out here?
I have a guaranteed win if I go Heatran.
I don't want to click. Okay, it's either I Volt on the Etran. Okay, I'm just going to trust that he doesn't choke here, I guess. I don't know. It's probably still lost for me anyway. Why did he do that? Oh my god. Dude, why did...
Heatran was not a choke there because regardless, she would have been in range of Curem Freeze, Z Freeze Shock, and Weavile and Curem would have cleaned up the end game. The only thing that could have made this worse is actually if I went into a higher HP Pokemon and allowed this Magearna to recover even more via Pain Split.
Did you do that? Whatever, man.
Okay, so game 3, I decide to bring Rain just because I like it, and Manaphy and Swampert are pretty great.
Kyurem is pretty good against Rain. It's just Manaphy that I need to deal with first. Torn is good against Rain. Toxic Spikes are good against Rain. It is just Manaphy that I need to be careful about. But I have a Haze Pex, and I have like some faster Pokemon to threaten it.
Manaphy is still a huge threat, though. Can muscle past Toxapex.
My first order of business is to lead Torn and Knock. If he leads his Torn, then I just U-turn into my Pex, set up a T-Spike, and then go into something that beats Manaphy. Okay, we just Knock.
My Torn is a slow
We just want to
eject
knock
button
this
Torn,
Ferrothorn,
so it's perfect for these
because
situations.
it's going to have a berry, and knocking that berry is going to be more important than actually like damaging it, probably. He goes Torn, we knock its eject button. Do we rip the Z? Probably not. I think we can just be patient. Oh, we're faster. That's annoying. That's lucky.
That's why you like slow turns. And now it's Manaphy time.
I'm daring him to go to Swampert, really. So to risk the Scald Burn, I guess.
No, that's just a bad play.
It's better than going Magearna and being in the same spot without waving that over his head. That's so annoying that I'm slower.
Yeah, getting the slow turns
That
is
I'm
so
faster,
beneficial.
even. I swear, okay, I was 361. Either he's slower than that, or... Okay, he goes to Manaphy. That's good.
So now I test to see
Specifically
if
because
the Pex
we
does in
can
fact have
just
haze.
spam haze and waste rain turns. We find out that it is psychic.
Yep, that's pretty big. Because now I can do mind games. When on the turn it recovers, and I can Tail Glow.
Yeah, we just spam haze until the rain runs out.
That's probably the best play, yeah. But eventually you'll be forced to give me a tail glow.
Yeah, you should just not do that in games, actually. You
Yeah,
should
you're
not
not really
ghost in
supposed
games.
to give the players suggestions at all. It's kind of
Okay,
forbidden.
either he just tail glows. I feel like it's not good either way. I mean,
Yeah, she's in a really tough spot with
I
Manaphy.
think he's gonna tail glow. He's psychic. I could have. Okay, no, that was a bad play. That was a bad play.
No, it's a prediction.
Whatever. Okay, I mean, I just can't let it tail glow, dude. I can go to Torn. Okay, we're about to get some progress with Hurricane.
Yeah, now Hurricane is pretty hard for me to switch into, especially since this is a Z-Torn.
He's gonna go Pharaoh this time, I feel. If you go Torn, then, like, no. You're gonna get punished for that. I'm 366, so I guess I would outspeed a lot of Torns.
I still haven't seen this Tornadus's damage output yet, so I end up going into my Tornadus because I can actually take a hit from a non-invested Torn, like a bulky pivot. So I'm kind of hoping it's like Z Curem or even Z Garchomp, which is wishful thinking, but that's why I go Torn.
I guess the first time around, he wasn't necessarily trying to absorb knock. Okay, I guess he is just trying to absorb knock. Yeah, we're just going to Hurricane.
And this time I'm going to go into Ferrothorn.
As long as we're in with Torn, I mean, we actually do want to keep our Z for as long as possible. 2
Yes,
for it in the mana fee. Does
that
15,
is ideal.
60 to 70, which is like, that's good damage. That's good damage, and we need to just keep an eye on mana fee. It should be banned. It should be banned. I don't know why we're pretending that it's a Pokemon that deserves to be in the tier. It should be banned.
I don't know if I think Manaphy should be banned. That feels like a bit of a stretch. Usually there's something you can do to prevent it from setting up, like sometimes you can taunt it, sometimes you can power whip it with Ferrothorn, sometimes you can hit it with like a Specs Lele Psychic, or it can't set up versus a Mega Alakazam. So it's not like it's sweeping every game, but versus teams like Zinnias's, without strong immediate breakers, it is quite a menace.
But we are playing around it. Yeah, we just get free damage from Pharaoh now.
Yeah.
Going Torn was a mistake.
It was a little bit greedy, yeah. Because if you weren't special attack invested,
I
I could
guess it
have
means
gotten
I
another
can't,
slow
like,
turn.
directly knock Pharaoh. I could. Maybe it's lefties and that would be a mistake. Who knows? I think the main thing that we're watching out here is Gyro Ball and Pharaoh, right?
I do
Thunderwave.
have another trick.
I don't think that's really seen on Rain. Okay, we actually got confusion.
And I
If we
was like,
Hurricane again, which we will,
please do not
then
confuse me.
I don't know. I think it's low odds for it to be Thunderwave. I think that would be bad if it was Thunderwave.
Yep.
Well, he's bad. Whatever.
And now Manaphy outspeeds. which is extremely crucial. Z gets wasted on Torn. I'm okay with that.
That's
Ferrothorn
good
is...
for Garchomp offensively.
It's good for Chomp, but Pharaoh is still intact with its berry. So now Mega Swampert can come in, and it's time for another secret weapon of mine on ranked
Pivot
teams.
Pex for regen. No, it's Power Up Punch.
Power Up Punch is one of my favorite techs. It makes this Swampert so strong. And I know at this point she is not going to want to sack Toxapex, because then the Manaphy loss is just absolutely imminent.
Dude, what a fucking C team. Oh my god. Okay, I mean, if this thing is useless anyway...
Yeah. Get the Crest on the Waterfall and just Waterfall again. It's one obstacle for Mega Swampert out of the way.
Kyurem can't get O-Code, that's good enough for me.
At this point, I'm kind of worried that the Kyurem is Specs, so I start to
We
play
have
a bit more
freezing crit
cautiously.
odds. And also, there's a chance he switches. If he goes to Ferrothorn, that would be very good. If he goes to Manaphy, that would be decent. It's just if he stays in. I mean, is there better ways to deal with this? No, I mean, entering a direct 1v1 Swampert with a team in this shape is probably a good idea.
At this point, I'm thinking my Swampert is an extremely threatening sweeper. If that Pex doesn't have Toxic Spikes, it can win the game on its own in a few turns.
Especially since this option's closed now because he's Thunderwave Ferrothorn.
Yep. Thunderwave was a suggestion from CM Reuniclus, so thank you for that. I end up going Greninja as kind of a mid-ground here.
Greninja comes in.
Because Greninja isn't going to be winning the game, whereas I have two pretty good win cons in Swampert and
We do have
Manaphy.
an opportunity to do something here, which would be to go to Toxapex on the Dark Pulse and get up the T-Spike.
Also worth noting, Kyurem does not get Freeze Dry in Gen 7.
If Ferrothorn was dead, then maybe Magino with Fairy Move can be a threat. Okay, we need this T-Spike right now, don't hacks. Okay.
And I see T-Spike, I'm like, ah, shoot, Swampert is not going to do it anymore, so it's all
going to click
Manaphy.
U-turn.
All on Manaphy.
I think we go into the thing that Swampert wants to 1v1 the least. And that can do the most okay job versus Manaphy.
At this point, I've seen it's not Specs. I am suspecting Substitute.
We do need to end up stalling it. I don't think that means stalling rain turns right now. Maybe. How much is the most Garchomp can do to this thing? 50%. That's fucking horrible, dude. I hate Manaphy. It's not healthy, dude.
Yeah, Manaphy is nuts.
Fuck. It's just gonna Tail Glow. It's faster. What the fuck is faster?
Yeah, it's a fast Manaphy.
Oh my god, what is this?
The fast Manaphy is also a suggestion from CM Reuniclus.
This team, man. What the fuck is this version? Okay, if you rest if you have like a semblance of a brain.
Yeah, I thought she might sack something here and then try and go Garchomp and
No,
finish me
this is
off.
just unfair. No, Manaphy needs something done about it.
By the way, I should clarify, I should not be Psychicking on these substitutes. There's no reason to do that. Psychic at this point in the game is more valuable than Surf, so I shouldn't be wasting PP like that. And even if I click Psychic one more time, and even then the win is pretty secured at this point, it would have been more optimal to go for Surfs on these substitutes.
We have a win con. No, we don't
Yeah, and
do
I,
it.
I used the
What do we
last
do?
Psychic to take down the Kyurem.
Dude, this is the most. No, I don't even know what to say about this edit of Rain. What the fuck am I facing?
Yeah, Manaphy's annoying. Bulky setup sweepers in general are
Can a
pretty
crit
annoying.
even kill? No. Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, so I just click Surf
Okay,
here.
well, GG Manaphy.
Manaphy is really, really strong and annoying. So I understand getting a little bit irritated. But yeah, that is my SM Cup uh, live analysis reaction of Zinnias' side of the series. Let me know if you enjoyed this type of game breakdown, and maybe I'll do more stuff like this in the future. Maybe you'll see something like this on Zinnias' channel. So yeah, just let me know if you enjoyed it, and have a good day. Thank you all.